Well, looks like it's getting worse at Man City after Erling Haaland pulled out of the Norwegian national team via, was it last week? I think last week. Even Phil Foden has joined the sick bay of Man City. Very much worrying situation for Man City because these two players had really picked up a lot of form in the previous 2-3 weeks and they've been scoring goals game in, game out. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys? And where you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokan David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. We are talking Ward-Prowse to Tottenham Hotspur, and we are talking Chamberlain to either Newcastle and Brighton. This is the transfer or the football news show here onto the Rokani Media Football. Now, yesterday, as England was going to play against Ukraine, a statement was released by Man City and some other, is it called Paul Joyce? Yeah, Paul Joyce works for the Times, came out and really issued a statement about Phil Foden not being able to take part into the game of England versus Ukraine. And he told us that breaking, Phil Foden will miss England versus Ukraine and some of Man City's upcoming schedule after undergoing an operation today for appendix. The Man City forward felt unwell after England training on Saturday, and it was really reported by Paul Joyce there for you. Then after, the City website put up a confirmation that Man City can confirm Phil Foden has left the England squad after undergoing surgery in London for acute appendix. He will not be fit for this weekend's EPL game at home to Liverpool, and it's unclear at this stage how long he will be unavailable for. So the situation for Phil Foden is really worrying and not yet really green-lighted on when this lad is going to be back. Because if you are a Man City fan, you know how Phil Foden has been so pivotal to the season of Man City because he has not been playing games, but on his return, he has gone ahead to register some good stats for a side known as Man City. When you look at his appearances in the UEFA Champions League, 6 games, 1 goal. In the Premier League, he has played 24 games. He has scored 9 goals and 4 assists. Those are 13 goal involvements, meaning that those are 10 goals in 30 games. Then in the EFL Cup, I think I was going to have to score a couple of goals, and this season he's really tearing it up and having very many goals onto his name. I saw him really score against Bournemouth, Bristol City. I think he had a couple when they are playing, is it Burnley? Let me check here and see. Man City versus Burnley, because Foden has been really on fire according to me. I've seen him score goals in different games that Man City have gone ahead to really do themselves a favor to go to the next round of the Champions League. And he's really doing a great job for a side known as City. So missing him out is really one of those things that you would go out and say, all right, we've lost out on a player who has been scoring goals. Remember, he also scored against Newcastle when they beat Newcastle 2-0 at Etihad Stadium. So Phil Foden is one of those players that you wouldn't like to miss out. And there is another tweet that has been really thrown in again, coming in from John Crossmere. I think he works for he's a chief football writer, a Football Writers Association, that Phil Foden will now be a worry for Manchester City's UEFA Champions League game against Bayern Munich. And if at all you know what Foden brings on the table, you wouldn't like to see this guy out, because he complements the attacking prowess of Man City a lot when he is really there. And I think Man City is not the same when they're not having Phil Foden, whether starting or on the bench. Even if Riyad Mahrez starts, you'll know that if at all Riyad Mahrez doesn't really make things happen, you are having another extra button to press of Phil Foden to go ahead and really haunt your opponent. And it's not good news. It's not music to ears, because it's gone ahead to join Erling Haaland. So it shows you how hard it is for Man City in this competition they are in. This season is very tense. Premier League, FA Cup and the Champions League. Remember, Arsenal is 8 points clear. They are playing Liverpool on Saturday. One thing they wouldn't like to find themselves in is drawing or not getting 3 points against Liverpool, because if they lose to Liverpool, those will be those will be 8 before Arsenal plays, and if at all Arsenal plays and beats Leeds, of which I know it's a given for Arsenal to beat Leeds at Emirates, will be 11 points clear ahead of City. If at all they draw and Arsenal wins against Leeds, those will be 10 points. And you wouldn't like to find yourself in a situation like that if at all you are Man City. And I think it's really bad for them. And this is where injury is coming in through. But this is not an injury. It's an acute appendix that has been really gotten into the theater to see to it that the lad has been really undergone surgery. Now let's go to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Once at Arsenal, joined Liverpool, and now he's one of those players that has emerged as a target for Newcastle, Brighton and Aston Villa this summer, while clubs in Serie A also have expressed interest in the midfielder. That is Sam Mikbo of the Daily Mail. When you look at Chamberlain, he's not enjoying the best of the season. He wants to be having at Liverpool, and I think Jurgen Klopp is really looking at him as a surplus to requirement at a team of Liverpool. But when you look at Alexander Chamberlain, I think if I'm him, I choose Newcastle. That's it, because Newcastle is the next big team to surface in the Champions League, and this season they might even make the Champions League provided they win their games. And Liverpool looks like they are shaky on and off. So to me, if I'm Chamberlain, I go to Newcastle. Why? I think the style of play favors him a lot at Newcastle, and he can really find his lost career back, because this season he has been really abysmal at Liverpool. He has been really a bizarre, and you wouldn't like to really look at him. With Liverpool bringing in the likes of Cody Gakpo, I think has no position to play, because the ideal front three of Liverpool right now, if at all other players are fit, is Salah, Luis Diaz, and Darwin Núñez. The bench will be having Cody Gakpo, Jota, and Firmino, meaning that this season he's not having playing time. Even next season, with Liverpool losing Firmino, just when they're going to go in and bring another player to replace Firmino, meaning that there will be 7 forwards ahead of Chamberlain, and Chamberlain needs to go out. If at all Liverpool can get in some money from him, the better. But it looks like his contract is running down, and they might lose him out on a free. That is Liverpool for you for Chamberlain. But Aston Villa is also interested. Italian Serie A, if at all there are teams playing in the Champions League that are really wanting him, I can really go with him. I can really go with him, because I can really agree with him deciding to go to the Serie A. If I told teams like Inter Milan, AC Milan, Juventus, Napoli, such teams, if at all they're interested in him, I think he can really go that side, because he'll be having a chance to play in the Champions League. And when you look at his pace and strength, he can easily go ahead and really tear up the Serie A, because Serie A is known for having slow players and it's a slow league. The pace is not all that great. The intensity is really lacking, apart from a team like Napoli that is going to hate to raise their intensity to the next level, the likes of Victor Osimhen and Javier Sheila, and very many other good players, the Kim Min-jaes of this world. They're really doing wonders that side. Now, after that, let's go to Tottenham Hotspur. Having sacked Antonio Conte, looks like Patrick, the football director, is really drawing plans of the next summer transfer window. And guess who they are looking at? They are looking at the captain of Southampton, and obviously Tottenham Hotspur are lining up a move to sign Southampton star James Ward-Prowse this summer. Spurs are big admirers of the England international and are likely to make a move for him at the end of the season. That is Fraser Fletcher reporting for the Foot Insider. And when you look at James Ward-Prowse, I believe it's time for him. He left Southampton. He has done all the best he can do for them. If at all he can save them from relegation this season, I think that will be the best gift he'll ever give to his child or boyhood club. That's it. But he has done everything. He needs to look for the next move. And if at all Spurs come in for him, it will be a very good move for him, because he needs to upgrade. And for Spurs, they're really having an advantage that if Southampton is relegated, then Ward-Prowse will go for peanuts. That's it. So I think Ward-Prowse has done it all. He's the best free kick specialist in the league right now, I think even in the world, because his conversion rate of free kicks is really out of this world, and he's also good on the ball. That's it. And he releases players from his passing range is really ridiculous, and I think they have every reason to look out for him. But the big question is, who is signing the player? Is it the manager or the football director? Because nowadays football directors tend to really go in and really sign in players when they've not even gotten in managers, because we don't know who the next manager of Spurs is going to be. Nagelsmann is one on the list. Tuchel was on and he has crossed to Bayern Munich. There is Luis Enrique, formerly at Spain and Barcelona. There is Pochettino. There is Thomas Frank of Brentford. So who is the next manager of Spurs to see to it that he comes in through and obviously raises the bar to the next level? So let's wait and see how that's going to happen. But those are the stories that really dropped in through. One from Man City, very worrying about Phil Foden. Your thoughts about it are welcome in the comment section below. Do you think it's going to impact onto the season of Man City, because they are playing the FA Cup semi-final against Sheffield Wednesday? They have to play against Bayern Munich, double tie, round of 8. Then they're still tussling it out with Arsenal in the league. And what do you think about Ward-Prowse to Spurs? And lastly, Chamberlain, which team would you advise him to go to? Aston Villa, Newcastle, or Brighton? Or he should go to Italian Serie A. Rokani David is my name. Good evening. First video of the day. More is yet to come. Don't forget to smash the like button, comment and share, and don't forget to subscribe. May the Lord bless you abundantly. I sign out for now. See you later, my Muslim friends. Enjoy your holy month of Ramadan. We are returning with more stories, so don't turn off your notification bells. Keep it Rokani Media Football. We've tackled Man City, Liverpool, Spurs, Southampton, and so on and so forth. So those that believe that this channel is only for Arsenal, you've now gotten to know that we are really diverse. Not so. I'm out for now.